I really love this work.
So can you tell me about why you're here today?
I'm trying to get a reduced fee.
To give people the dignity of knowing that they have a right to the judicial process and to have an attorney help them along the way, it's extraordinarily powerful. Pro Bono Network brings attorneys to people who really need legal aid. There's a real legal aid crisis right now. So there's always a call out for volunteer lawyers to help. Any attorney who wants to volunteer and isn't volunteering just because it's impractical, that's who we are here for. We are here to make it practical for them to volunteer. My father was a CPA and my mother was a prosecutor in Wayne County. They were very involved in politics. We had a lot of debates at the dinner table. That's how I was raised. I reached a point in my career where I was able to pick wherever I wanted to go in the Department of Justice. The Antitrust Division has a field office in Chicago, so my husband and I took a look and thought that Chicago would be a fantastic place. I never thought in a million years I would leave my career. It was very important to me. When my first child was born, for the first time, I felt that I was just being torn too many places. I volunteered downtown at a legal aid agency, and the training times all involved going after 3 p.m., which meant I had to get a babysitter. I had to pay not early bird parking. It sounds silly, but it all added up to being over $200 just to get myself trained. It just seems like this should be easier.
So, has your employer directly spoken to you about any of these issues?
In order to really adequately represent your client, you have to know what the law is going to be, and you also have to know what the standards are for the agency under whom you're working.
Right, so it's not 5 days from when the rent is due, it's 5 days from the notice.
It doesn't take very long to learn the basics of what you need to do if you're an experienced lawyer.
So these are the documents for the collection.
Oh, yeah.
Go through that.
One of our biggest hurdles at the beginning was in finding the appropriate legal aid work for our attorneys. What can we do that will be using their law degree but ends before 2 p.m.? We found out there are a lot of different types of work. One is called one and dones, where you show up to a clinic and you help a client, but when you leave, you're done. Well, you ready? Okay, we have an office in the back. Luckily, the highest need of legal aid is brief advice and short-term representation, so the type of work we do is the most needed. Today, we saw somebody who had a lot of credit issues.
Have any of them served you with any kind of lawsuit?
Not yet.
Okay.
They had taken out $99 while I was in the hospital.
Yeah, where's that? Is that on here?
It's on there.
For her now, and this could be the difference between her paying her rent, paying her heating bill. These are the choices she has to make. Which one am I going to pay? And having a lawyer help walk you through that and problem solve it can make a very big difference to her. Since we started, we've had over 200 attorneys volunteer. And not all women and not all stay-at-home moms either, but the model is for that group. So do you understand what you need to get?
That's why I was trying to get the application done.
The rewarding part about working with legal aid is it is such a powerful tool that a very small amount of work can do a lot of good for somebody. And I love for my children to feel like they are part of giving to legal aid because they accommodate me so often. They have sometimes had discussions with me on whether or not they really want me on that field trip, or perhaps I should go to the Cook County Jail that day. It's really heartwarming. It's a very easy way to come to work every day.